Happy Tuesday. Good afternoon, everybody. Here I am, Araya Onra, coming to you live from For the Love of Dragons, as we do every Tuesday. And I'm here to answer your questions, bring you tools, be your guide to working with the dragons, to actually waking up that part of yourself, understanding it. Why do I love dragons? Why do I have a connection with them? Why are they always showing up around me? Why do I have healers telling me I have dragons around me? And so that's what we try to do every week. There's a great full playlist called the Dragon Playlist on my YouTube channel. So if you were to search Invoke Healing International on YouTube, you would find that YouTube channel, and it's the easiest way. Also archived here in the group and For the Love of Dragons, and that is capital L-O-V-E. But in the YouTube channel, the nice thing about YouTube is it's easy to search or just flip through and see the subject line of each of the weeks to get an idea of like, oh, there's topics, that one's drawing me. You'll have them in the back of your mind registered, and something will hit in a couple of weeks and go, oh, there was something in there, I need to go watch that. Because essentially that's where I'm trying to answer all your questions and get all your tools for you, besides what are actually available on the website. So dragonwithin.com has multiple ways to get involved with the dragons, to dive in, to understand them, to start working with them, and you've got so many options. There's a book. We're doing a book club right now. We're halfway through it. It's one of the most fun things I do multiple times a year. We've got guided meditations that are actually my voice guiding you through an experience with specific dragons. Opens up incredible things, and they can be used over and over again. We are very close to releasing the new online program, which is Entering the Dragon Realms, which is a 4-module course to really let you dive in on your own time. Like you just download them all, you've got a workbook, and you work through and get some interesting different perspectives on the how, the what, the why, who are they, all those questions answered for you to give you a really broad perspective before you dive into maybe a Dragon Book Club or the Eye of the Dragon program, which starts every year in January. It's a 4-month program that is the first half of the full way of the Dragon Heart. And that right now I've got half full for next year's program already, even though it's just the beginning of November, but we get the whole sphere energetically going and start some of the individual work prior to the start date in January. So if that's been calling you, you're feeling a heart pulse when I talk about it, about being a Dragon Heart, about waking up to that part of yourself, then let me know. Send me an email, send me an instant message, or get a hold of me in some way so that I can get you the application, because that's the process. It's an application and an interview process. Besides that, I've also got the lair open, which has all these beautiful dragons of different sorts. We've got canvas prints like this guy. We've got stuffies. Also want to share with you today, before I start talking about today's dragon dialect question, because I feel like this guy's going to start speaking. This is one of the most incredible Orgonite dragons. If you've seen the Orgonite dragons on the site, there's 2 different sizes. There's small ones that are really aligned and specially created for my site, for the lair, that have a specific infusion of the energy of the elementals, the intergalactics, the black, the white, the crystal, the interdimensionals of Orion, the gold, the silver, the copper, and the Syrian dragons. I've got all of those lineages that are in Orgonite, or Dragonite, as they're called by the maker. And those are smaller, but these magnificent ones are handmade by one of my Dragon Hearts. And so these are exclusive to the lair as well. And look at this. This is fluorite, and this is over 3 pounds. So it carries some weight, and it carries a huge amount of energy. And I love this beauty. I'm going to have a hard time letting go of her after I announce her, and I know someone's going to jump on actually finding a home for this beauty. But for example, the crystals and pieces that are in them are specific to an individual and why you're called to certain ones, because of the work that needs to be done there. So with fluorite, this is actually, and I'm going to read it because I'm not a mineralist or a gemstone person, but apparently fluorite is the soul pathing stone. It helps align your natural talents and gifts with the desires of your heart. And green fluorite helps channel heightened intuition and creativity. So this one, I can feel the energy coming off of it, and actually the whole room is spinning a bit today. There's a lot of energy today, as you might have realized. This is definitely adding to it, so having this guy right next to me, it's actually, I feel her energy is female, so I correct that, my dear. But creating that space is really important, and having those tools around you. So having those all available through the site, and that I actually infuse a transmission specifically to the buyer in order to heighten your own expansion journey, because that's what it's about. So all of these tools, it does create a space around you, and it's powerful and really lends to the work that the dragons want to do with you. It creates a space so that you can actually go into a deeper, a faster expansion, which is the dragon's gift. They come in to heal stuff that you might have been working on for 20 years in a different modality or means with energy work, that they literally dive in and will show you and clear it and dissolve it. And I think that's the greatest thing that I've noticed in working with them. So when I come to you every week and I do get questions, I actually had a great question after last week's live, and another comment, a request actually to present the original, because I talked about Tiamat and I talked about and showed the book cover, and I mentioned the original artwork that was a wood burning etching, a wood burn etching. So if you can see this, I had a request to show it because it is absolutely incredible. This hangs in my home, and it is on wood, as you can tell. And the artistry, this was Angela Mary Brown, who's in Florida, who, what a gift she has. I've seen some of her stuff. She does fairies and dragons, all kinds of different things. And when she did this for me, I just gave her free rein, and I said, just feel Tiamat, feel the book cover, and show me what comes. And this is what came, and I was like, it's perfect and amazing. And the nuance, the subtlety of the coloring, the shading, to do with a wood burning etching tool is beyond me, because that's also not my forte. I'm a dragon. I have a lot of skills, a lot of efficiency, a lot of ability to bring stuff through because of my channeling gifts and my connection gifts to the other realms. But it definitely lends that I am not an artist like that or like this beautiful fluorite orgonite. So my gift, we're going to go into, is talking about the dragons, what they bring. Hello, Judith, and I know I've seen a few weldies on, and quite a few people. Hello, I'm so glad to see you guys here. And we should mention briefly, you might see I've got a lot of red and blue around me, because here in the United States we have a very big important day going on right here. So holding space and energy for the right path to unfold before the United States, for the rest of the world, because it all hinges together. We're becoming a global community as we step towards the fifth dimensional new earth realm, and in order to go there we have to come together, we have to unify. And so this today is our election day here in the United States, and it's going to hinge, and I'm getting tingles all the way through my body with that, with the aspect of bringing us back into alignment and unity based on the original principles that this country was founded on, and holding that together as that embraces and brings the whole world into a place where we can unify and come together. Because I've talked before about, this is our balancing time. It's within and it's without, and if we can balance within, we can help balance without, and that it all plays together. And so holding space, all of us together, opening your heart, and just allowing the greatest outcome for the highest benefit of all beings, both on the earth and encompassing the earth as beings of light that are here to assist and guide us forward, that space gets held, and feeling a really powerful charge move through my body with that. So moving on from that into today's question, coming up from last week, was about light language or dragon language, and knowing that there's been a few videos, and you might catch it in some of the previous ones I mentioned on YouTube, where I actually go into speaking light language. And there was one video in particular, apparently, that this person listened to and heard and delineated 3 separate dialects. And so the question was, can you talk a little bit more about light language? Are there actually dialects, and do they associate with specific dragons or specific lineages of dragons? And so I want to clarify that for you all, because light language is becoming very, very prevalent, whether you speak it or you scribe it. It is a transformational energy. It is a set of information and light that, rather than translating down into our 3D human languages that we use verbally with everyone around the world, and all the multiple languages and dialects within that it stays coded, it stays in its higher format, which helps break things open in our body and helps translate information, whether you consciously understand it or not. Usually you will understand in a heart level the message, because it's speaking heart to heart. It's taken us forward into speaking heart to heart, and that's the importance of it, the importance of letting it come through you in whatever way it does. You might find yourself scribing it in codes, as one of my Dragon Hearts does, really incredibly powerful codes on a soul level to break people open, or if you have it just flowing out of you, especially when you go to a specific site. I've talked about activating dragons, and where you feel their heart song and you start singing it to them and it comes through in light language. So to answer the question about dialects, yes, it does, just like any language. If you imagine the number of civilizations in the galaxy that are beings of light, even just from all the star systems that we're aware of, and there's so many millions more, that if you imagine all the languages that are inherent within that, within their own system of communication with light, say within Orion, and then maybe they travel to Sirius, well, of course there's going to be a different language. It's still a light language because of the way it's coded and transmitting, which is how thought forms go telepathically. That they would essentially mean there were multiple streams of language or dialect. So if you, like I was a linguistics major, so studying language, you can see the roots of the tree. It's like a big family tree of language. It would be similar in the galaxy and the universe, and that within that, even within, say, one star system, there's multiple dialects, maybe even around a singular planet, or from star to star within that system. And so it becomes important to be able to translate. And so as you're moving through the heart space, this happens to be one of my gifts. I was told years ago, and never really understood it until all of the dragon work started unfolding and the light language started coming, that I'm a galactic interpreter. So it made a lot of sense, one, that I followed a path of linguistics in my life, and that two, in my work with people, because I have clients from all over the world, that I end up being able to translate where their soul realm, home family comes from, as far as the light language that's coming through, the information, and how I can code it and translate it through. So yes, there are multiple dialects. Are they associated with a specific dragon or a specific lineage? So not in the way of when I'm in the book referring to the wisdom, the love, or the power lineages of how those energies translate down. More specifically, I would say it's predominant to, there's dialects within Orion. There's another subset or language aspect coming from Sirius, from the Pleiades, from the star systems that we have would have their own set of dialect. So the dragons that are from those realms then would hold within that same one. And so you would have a natural affinity or ability to bring through a language that may be different than someone you know who's a very good friend. Maybe they're sitting in a workshop next to you, or you do a lot of meditation work together and you both start speaking light language and it sounds radically different. Or you both start scribing light language and the characters look different. I have on my own soul code from Leonie, who I've introduced before. She's my dragon heart who does the soul scribing, cosmicscribe.com, I believe her site is. And even within my own code is very clearly at least 3 different types of symbols that are showing me 3 separate languages within that, which is part of my makeup as an interpreter. And so it was very interesting that that came through, her not knowing that part about me, that came through. So you would have a specific dialect or family language coming from your home realm that may be very similar or or very different from someone who's sitting next to you, who might be more from the Pleiadian realm and you're maybe Syrian or Lyran, or maybe you're both originally dragons from the rainbow realms. Let's say that for an example. And there might be very similarities and yet subtle differences, which would be dialectical within one language family. So I would say it more operates very similar to our tree of languages like we have here on Earth, and yet it's coming in a higher format. So one thing I encourage you with light language is to let it flow out. You might feel like, I sound crazy, I need to do this in the shower, or I need to make sure nobody else is home, or I'm at a park where no one can hear me, or I'm going to do it under my breath. Even if you do it internally, if you start letting it flow, there's a power within it that's unlocking things within you. because it's a language of your heart space, and it's going to help you get to your heart song, which is going to help you get to your dragon. And all of those pieces, as they unlock together, they're so much prevalent now with the energies on the planet and where we're moving between now and December 21st, with so much being unlocked. So I'm excited for you. I'm excited for your journey. And I appreciate the question coming through, because I think it is an important topic in these days, because more and more people are waking up to it. More and more people are feeling that, just like more and more people are waking up to the dragons and their dragon aspect and seeking out, like, there's dragons around me. Where do I find that? And they Google and they find their way here, which is really exciting for me, because our group is continuously growing organically. And so I encourage you also to share every experience you have, whether it's with light language or dragon that comes in your meditation, or you sense them around you, into the group. Post and share about it, because that's what we're here for. We're here to help people understand and know that they're not crazy, they're not alone, that their experiences have meaning and validity, and that they are going to help move them forward, that they have guides working with them. That's one of the things, the 20-minute dragon readings that I do help solidify for you, is who is your guide team. If you can't connect to them, I can, and I can help you understand who they are and get maybe a name or a mantra or some way for you to connect with and communicate more directly with them, or at least know the presence and validate for you. Maybe you have an idea, and by bringing it out, it can be confirmed for you, and that helps you open your own intuitive gifts, because when you have an inkling but you don't get it confirmed or clarified, then you don't trust it. But as soon as someone can confirm it for you, then you have a self-validation, and you keep opening and you keep trusting, and that builds on itself moving forward. So lots of prayers going up for the United States and the world today. Hold that space for the dream of harmony and peace that we're moving into, for this shift into the golden era, and all that needs to unfold for that to happen between now and that actual happening, and the energies between now and December 21st. Paving the way with most grace and ease forward into that, rather than chaos, disruption, and unruliness or fear, or anything that will hold people back from holding a bigger light. Because when there's chaos, it brings fear, and that dampens the light. So holding that space, all of us, please, for ease and grace moving forward, that it would be an unfolding transition of beauty, ease, and grace into the highest potential timeline, because there are multiple timelines moving forward, to the highest potential timeline that we can hold and carry. And that if we all hold that space today, it will unfold for us. So knowing the perfection of it within, I wish you all a beautiful week. And please let me know if you have questions or desire for information on any of the programs. And I will see you next week. Have a great, great week, and we'll see you soon. Bye, everybody.